Hi everyone, welcome to the day 22 of our 24-day series of Microsoft Fabric. So the three video series which we are going to complete in our 24 days series of Fabric. So this 20 day 22, day 23 and day 24, it will be completely focusing on the end-to-end Microsoft Fabric project which I have already explained in my previous videos. So to create an end-to-end project, first of all, I will create another workspace uh, so that we can separate it with our previously created elements or components, and we will design it from the start to end. And let me create a workspace for that. So we can go in the workspace, we can click on the new workspace. There is one more topic which I have to cover, but I don't have very much days left in my trial period. So that video will be a separate the deployment pipelines in Microsoft Fabric that I will upload after any time, like later after finishing this series. So this series is completely focusing on the elements and working how the real-time project works. But after that, to go with the CI/CD things, the deployment pipeline and all, that also I will explain, but in the latest different video, and it will be also a very informative and very long video. That's why I'm not covering it in this same series. So let's create this workspace as end-to-end project underscore fabric. Okay. I'll again use the trial capacity only, and I have only 2 days of trial left. So we will try to complete this whole series within that my trial period, and I'll upload it. So first of all, we are going to follow a Medallion architecture, and when we will work on the deployment pipelines, so what we will do, we will create three workspaces, which will be dev, test, and prod, development, test, and production. That we will talk in any time later, like in our different video. So first of all, as per the Medallion architecture, I'll create three layers. So three folders I will create. The first folder will be bronze, which I have already explained you guys. Second will be the silver layer, the transformation layer we can say. And third will be the gold layer or curated layer. Bronze is the row layer or landing layer. Okay. Silver is the staging. So in the bronze, I have to create multiple components. So first of all, I'll create another folder as Lakehouse. This will be our data lakehouse, where we will be storing our raw or unstructured or semi-structured data. Then another folder I will create raw pipelines. Okay. Let's come to our silver layer. Here I'll create stage underscore pipelines. And in the gold layer, we will create our warehouse as well as smart pipeline folder. Okay. Okay. Let's again come to the silver bronze layer. So we have created a lakehouse folder. Inside that, let's add our lakehouse. I'll name it as raw LH only. Raw LH stands for the lakehouse. Okay. Yeah, here we have our lakehouse. Let's come to the gold layer. In the warehouse, we will create our warehouse. That's it. In the warehouse, we have to create two schemas. So I'll create new schema. First schema will be my stage DWH underscore stage. Okay. and another schema will be my mart schema. Okay, I'll run the same query dwh underscore mart. Here you can see we have our two schemas here. The stage schema, we will store the staging tables. In the mart schema, we will store our curated tables. Okay. Okay. So this was the first, or what we can say, the step which we have to do to create our medallion architecture, and we have to follow this medallion architecture in our all of the like workspaces like development, test, and production. And in the development, we have to develop n number of things because it is a development phase. We have to do so many testing and all, so have so many changes and all. From development to test, we will only move a few items which we have to test. Then in the test environment, test workspace, what we have to do, we have to test the pipelines whether we are getting correct data or not. Then finally we can deploy it to the production. Okay, that's how production pipeline work. I'll just let you know, or else we can cover it in the another video. Okay, so now what the first step we have to do is to dump the data, the raw data, to the lakehouse, and that we are going to do with the help of copy data pipelines. And we will connect the copy data pipeline. We can use the bulk load pipeline as well if we have multiple multiple files or multiple tables in our raw database. But yeah, as of now, I have only one table. So I'll just shoot one copy data activity, and I'll load that to our lakehouse. Okay. But you can check my another video, which is present in the channel for the bulk load. And you can practice that if you have multiple files, multiple. But to keep this project as simple as, that's why I just have kept only one raw file for our source. Okay. So I'll go to the bronze layer. I'll go to the raw pipeline. Here, I'll just create a pipeline. Okay. So I'll name it as PL underscore raw to LH. PL stands for the pipeline, and the action we have written raw to LH. Okay. So we will be dumping our raw data to our lakehouse. So here in our pipeline, I need to take a not copy job, sorry, copy data activity. I'll name it as from SQL Server to LH. Okay. The source will be for me is the SQL Server. Let me tell you how we can connect to the SQL Server. Here, with the help of the gateways, data gateways. I think I have a connection. Just a second. Let me just first find out the server name. So this is our server name. And I remember, I think I have I have a connection. You can check my previous video where I have explained how to create a connection. Okay. So this is my connection which I have to use. Okay. I'll click on connect. So basically this is using on-premises data gateways. You can check my previous videos. As I told you, I can't explain everything in a single video. So I have already explained everything in my previous videos. So I'm getting my test connection has been here. So now our connection is successful here. So just I need to select my database, and I think it is automatically selected. I'll just refresh it. Oh, there was an issue of gateway version. So basically new version came, that's why. So here I need to select my table. So I'll refresh this one. And the raw table which is present is, the name of the raw table is raw orders from last 6 months. Okay. This is the raw table. And I don't need to partition this. So I'll configure everything, and the destination will be my here I need to click on the Lakehouse, and I have my Lakehouse here, the raw Lakehouse I'll select, and it I want it in a table only, not in a file. So what I'll do, I'll just create a new table. So schema, let's write DBO or table name raw underscore orders. Okay. And the method which I want it as overwrite. So every time there is a new table, it should overwrite. Okay. And yeah, that's it. So I'll just save my I'll just save my uh, pipeline, and I need to just run this. So let it run. So after the run is completing, yeah, our pipeline ran successfully here. So let's see data in our lake house. So I'll go to our bronze layer, and in that lake house, I'll open our lake house, and let's see the raw. You can see raw orders table is there in the DBO schema. DBO stands for database objects. Okay, just for clarification, I've just told. So in our lakehouse, we can store tables as well as files. Okay, it's taking time to load the table. We'll wait for that. Yeah. So here you can see we have our table, and it's very big raw table. From this table only, we will be creating our stage dimension and fact tables. Okay. So that's it for today's video. Thanks everyone. Be ready for the two another videos in this end-to-end fabric project. And yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.